Hello and welcome everyone. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and I'm here to offer you some job tips about the best sorts of jobs for Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, the air signs. Now the air signs are called air because they live in the realm of the mind. So this is all about really thinking things over. And in the case of Librans, sometimes they think it over so much that they can get themselves in a bit of a muddle, overthinking things. Overthinking things is a thing today in Western societies. Generally, we're all so busy working or, thinking about things that sometimes we forget just to be. So it's very important to get the balance right so that we're not overthinking too much and second guessing ourselves after we've made a decision. And you can have this thing called cognitive dissonance, which basically means you make a decision but then there's a thing called opportunity cost about those things that you've decided to cut out of your the final result of your decision. So the opportunity cost is the cost of something that you've foregone because you're choosing something else, basically. Librans are a master at this, So Geminis are very curious, intellectual creatures. They love to communicate and they have a lot of sort of racing thoughts. They have this issue where they can be going over and over and over again and the thoughts are darting through their mind very quickly, whereas Librans tend to sort of mull on the thoughts, so it's not actually darting. And Aquarius, being an air sign, they love to look at the big picture, but then they get caught up in the details sometimes and can get confused that way. They're big picture thinkers, Aquarians. So I thought I'd do a tarot card spread and just see what comes up for air signs with regards to best job tips about what we can do the remainder of 2020 and into 2021, because there's so much changing in the job area at the moment. A lot of jobs are being lost and we're at the start of it. I don't want to seem negative, but it's best to be realistic, I find, and we're actually at the start of the job losses, not the end of the job losses. So this means that lots of people have got to change their jobs, and that's actually not a bad thing because many of us were stuck in jobs that we didn't particularly enjoy. So what I'm trying to do here now is get you to start thinking about, even if you're in a secure job and you haven't, gone down that track, but if something were to happen in the future, what job would you go into and how can you best prepare yourself for the possibility? Okay, it may never happen at all, but then again it might. So I think it's probably good to have a plan B and a plan C and D as well. And if you've given this matter some thought, you'll know the jobs that you're best suited towards. So it's no use someone like me going into plumbing because as a Libran, we don't like dirty or unkept sort of conditions. We like everything beautiful. So plumbing's not the job for me. And it's no good me going into politics because that's also dirty as well. So that's dirty in a different way. And so it's best that you know yourself so you don't put yourself into a position where, it could get awkward in the future. Alrighty, so let's go to the board now and have a look and see what comes up in the tarot cards for you lovelies. Alrighty, so I've already pre-shuffled these cards up, but I'll give them a quick shuffle again. I'm going to do a 5-card spread. Oh, look at that. And straight away, we've got these two coming out. So we're going to call this card 1 because they've jumped out. The Ace of Swords. This is particularly relevant given that we're doing air signs because swords are all about air signs. Okay, this is about the intellectual functioning of an air sign. So Spirit literally hands us the gift of a sword This has the ability to cut, dissect, and really get to the core of this situation where we can analyse what the solution is, come up with a solution. And think back 400 or 500 years ago, if you will, and you may recall that swords were the U-boot technology of the day. So metallurgy was very important. And now today, you know, we have different type of technology, but back in its time, metallurgy was cutting edge technology. Aquarius particularly loves technology, you know, and they love to mull things over in their minds and take the big picture view, and they can often see things from this sort of detached viewpoint that other people, you know, don't see. You'll also see here there's a lot of butterflies around, and this means also new beginnings. So Ace of Swords, new beginnings. This is where you're thinking about something to do with a position, or it could even be a new relationship, but we're talking about job tips now. So a new job, time to start thinking about it, even if we're not ready to do anything about it. Okay, there's some challenges in the background here as well. Mountains indicate challenges. They are surmountable, but they may not be surmountable in the situation that you're currently in. The answer might be to change careers. Okay, underneath that, this one came out. Okay, so Three of Cups. There's some emotions here, perhaps with friends or co-workers. One of them is very wasteful and unreliable. One of them is very extroverted and out there. And one of them is sort of holding back, not really saying everything that she knows, but they're all in the fish's mouth. So that means that there's subconscious forces at work here. And if you're working at the moment, you may find there's sort of a funny bit of a vibe in the office or where you work. And it could be that there's some, you know, little cliques of people, and maybe you're not in their clique. Even if they invite you, the three of you together, sometimes two of them form a clique and still leave you out. If you're an Aquarian, you may not mind that much because you like to have a bit of time alone. But if you're a Libran, you'll say, well, that's not very fair. And if you're a Gemini, you could be really upset because you like to socialise and communicate with people and, you know, have everything sort of running nicely, friendly in the office, so to speak. But the fish indicates that there's some subconscious forces going on here. If you're working on a project together, you could have some hiccups, but you'll get the project done and there is eventual success. If this is your friends, maybe just accept them for who they are, but do be a bit cautious because perhaps, you know, they're not telling you the full story, or there's some competition or something that's just not quite right going on underneath. But there's a new start in any event. Okay, so that's card number one. Those two, seeing they both jumped out. Card number two for air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Aquarius. Okay, I tell you what, these swords are so keen. All right. So we have the Knight of Swords. Again, an air sign. This is about expanding your horizons, taking the big picture view, especially if you're an Aquarian. Ride your eagle and fly high now. If you lose your job or you give up your job, you walk away from your job, know that there is a bigger world out there and the world is calling you. I get the real sense of adventure around it. And you may find yourself thinking even about travelling, or, you know, whether that be to another part of the country or even overseas. And I know that's difficult at the moment with COVID. However, you know, you might like to think about it, plan it, strategize it, even if you don't do it for a year or two. Underneath that, we had the Page of Pentacles. This is about your finances and your possessions. So it could be the plans of the Knight of Swords could be dependent upon your financial situation. Now she's wearing black, so some things are hidden. You don't have all of the information you need to make a decision. But then she's got white around her throat, which indicates that she's speaking what she knows. So you do have some information. And then red. So red for action. Action steps need to be taken around your finances, okay? But there's a bigger story here happening for you. And again, it is about new beginnings coming from here and this stepping out into a new world. Pages often bring good news, so you could get good news around it. Okay, so we're going to run out of space if I keep getting two at once. That's your second card. All right, looking at the third card now. What do I see for the air signs? Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. Closing my eyes. I didn't even get a chance to do that before. Okay, I see a book in front of me in spirit, and it's all about writing, journaling, writing down your dreams, your hopes, even your fantasies, but do delineate your fantasies from your hopes and dreams, because fantasies are what comes out of your head. Okay, hopes and dreams come out of your heart. So just be cautious, because you are an air sign and you love to think things over, that you don't construct a fantasy in your head about, you know, your jobs or about anything else, in fact. I've got a nude woman here in front of me in spirit, and I think it's basically saying be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and not to put on a mask or pretend that you're something that you're not, or somebody else that you're not. Okay, you will attract the right job to you by being authentic, but there's still action to be taken around that. Okay, they don't often just fall into your lap. You've actually got to do something. All right, so looking at the third card for air signs. What do I see? Okay, we're going with that card there. And again, surprise, surprise, it's the Page of Swords. So you see so far, anyway, more than halfway through now, and you see so far we've got swords, swords and swords. Underneath we've got cups and pentacles, okay? But Page of Swords is good news in your thoughts. So it's great to be positive and optimistic. And if you find yourself having issues with negative thinking, just imagine a waterfall is washing all of those negative thoughts away, or you see a stop sign. And so whenever you catch yourself getting a negative thought, just see that red stop sign and tell yourself to stop it, because it's your head. Okay, so Page of Swords, good news, some planning, some strategizing. Again, this sort of theme of birds. There's some birds up here in the both corners. So take the big picture view. Whatever's happening now is only for a time. It's not forever. So you're well placed, because you can think logically and analytically about what to do in a situation. Not everybody can do that, because they get overwhelmed with, you know, feelings. You know, Pisces or Cancer, their feelings come and take over. Whereas, you know, in your case, it's the opposite. It's the head can take over. But ideally, not only do we want to work with our feelings and our minds, but we want to be listening to spirit, and then we want to take physical action, okay? So that's the 4 realms. Alrighty, and now the next card. Closing my eyes, and what do I see for the air signs? Gemini, Libra, and Cancer. This is interesting. I don't know the difference. A priest or a bishop, but he has a robe. It's a white robe, and he's got sort of like a gold medallion around his neck. He's got that big mitre sort of hat thing, whatever it's called. I think that's a bishop. Okay, so religious authority is what I'm seeing. I don't know how that works in with anything as far as your job, but we come up with the Ace of Pentacles, so I'll come back to that in a minute. Ace of Pentacles, a new start concerning your money, okay? New ways of making money, and it's almost being handed to you by spirit, okay? So you can think your way out of potential problems. There's water in the back in the back here. See, there's a lot of grey around here, so sometimes it's confusing, or it might seem like you're walking in a fog. At the same time, know that Spirit is giving you a way out. Now my chickens are coming in because they want to have their say as well. They're obviously air signs, and we've got the bird theme happening. And so you'll see here there's also this arbor of trees. That's about growth and also opportunity, and green is for money. Okay, so your thoughts can get you out of strife. You can start a new endeavour, a new project, a new job, and it's just a matter of analysing the situation properly, and you'll get there in the end. Let's look at, I just want to go back to the Bishop before I go to the 5th card. I'll close my eyes again. I see a ladder, climbing a ladder, the ladder of success that is. Okay, I've got the Bishop down below, but not just him, a whole lot of other people. It could be people telling you to, it could be the church, it could be your family, it could be society, it could be your government. It could be somebody in an authority position telling you not to do, or it's not going to work out, or don't go down that track. And it's almost like a pioneering kind of energy, so that feels very Aquarian to me. That you want to do something different that other people haven't done before, or you want to do it in a particularly, it's been done but it's not done the way you're going to do it, and you want to do it in a particularly different way. But there could be these people trying to hold you back. So please operate from your own heart and your own mind, and just sit down and analyse why it is they don't want you to do what you're supposed to do, or what you want to do. Okay, really have a look at that. Okay, now we can go to the 5th card. All right, I'm going with that one. Closing my eyes now, and what do I see for air signs? Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I get a sense of wholeness. It's like going around the whole zodiac wheel, and there's this sort of circle, and you start at the beginning, you end up at the end, and then you start again. So the cycle completes itself. You could find an old job coming back to you in a new form. Maybe it's with a different company, but there's still elements of the old job that are there. I really don't know why my chickens are going so crazy out there. I hope there's no snakes. So as soon as I finish this, I'll have to go down and check out, because sometimes the snakes go and steal their eggs. Or one day I opened the coop and there was a goanna there. My God, it frightened me. It was so big, and it was stealing their eggs. My God. But he was more scared of me than I was of him. But it was a fright. Okay, last card. What do I need to say or do to help air signs with some job tips for the future? Going with that card there. Closing my eyes now, and what do I see? Musical instruments, violins, stringed instruments. This could be for Geminis particularly, because they have, some musical inclination. Okay, it's about self-expression. So yes, I feel this is very strongly Gemini, maybe a bit of Libra, and then less so Aquarian here. About expressing your creativity and really making the music of your own life. You are the conductor. Sure, there might be, different energies in your orchestra that you have to organise, other people in your life or other energies within that you organise, but you are the conductor of your life. All right, and we come up with the King of Wands. When I get a king, I know it's always to do with the divine masculine energy. And in this case, this is the fiery, inspirational energy of motivation and inspiration, making you feel more confident, giving you more self-esteem. And it's particularly Geminis. I feel that there's something there where you haven't felt good enough, or maybe there wasn't enough self-worth to try something new, but it's changing. And this King of Wands energy is going to help you. This is like a generous benefactor who either helps you with encouragement or advice, or maybe even in a physical sense with money or something. But there's green here for growth. He's wearing the gold here around his abdomen for the solar plexus energy of confidence, goal-oriented behavior, and eventual success, the red action. The sunflowers up here for insight and awareness, reminiscent of the sun, the glowing warmth and generosity that this energy offers you. It can be in yourself, or it can actually be from another person who comes into your life to help you in some way. It's important to note that he has his feet on the ground, and he's got a lizard here. It's probably an iguana with 4 feet on the ground, and that's about being grounded in practical reality. So we're not talking about, being airy-fairy. We're talking about real situations, real outcomes, real successes, okay, are available to you. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Now I'm just going to close my eyes for you. Air signs, what do I see in terms of job tips? I'm seeing like grandparents, older people, okay, can offer you advice and encouragement. Some of you, it feels like the parents are missing, absent parents, in fact, and it's like maybe they haven't, the parent, oh gosh, now the cat's at the door. the chickens went, then the dogs went, now Prince Harry is here. Harry, are you there, Harry? The door's closed, he can't get in, so he'll probably carry on. It's like the parents were absent and not really doing their parental duties, not encouraging you, not guiding you or showing you the best way to succeed in life. And maybe they didn't succeed, maybe they didn't show you because they actually didn't know themselves. They feel like they were failures, and so they were sort of maybe kept away from you a bit because maybe they didn't want it to rub off onto you or something like that. But yeah, it's left a bit of a gap or a bit of a hole there, and it's up to you to heal yourself. No one can do it for you, but some people can come along and sort of model behaviors for you that will help you, teach you how to look after yourself or be your own inner parent, okay? And it's like at some point the grandparents were there, but maybe they got too old or they passed away as the years went on, sadly. It's like I see the end of an era and something closing so that something new can begin. All right, air signs, what else? Yeah, so there's a door here that's been bolted. I feel like it's in the future, not in the past. And it's coming to the time when soon you'll be able to open that door and go in a new direction to what you have previously. And so I can see a lot going on around the handle and the lock in the door. Harry's at the door. I'm seeing all this stuff to do with doors. He's at the door. But yeah, he can't break in, but you will. You'll be able to open this door, which is the door to your future. It would be great, air signs, if you start meditating on opening doors, okay, doing it yourself and getting there yourself. I see a bracelet of diamonds, beautiful, shiny, clear diamonds on the left hand and left wrist, and so that's about clarity of thought, okay, and that will stand you in good stead. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope, dear Geminis, Librans and Aquarians, this has been helpful. If so, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell for updates. So I'll also be doing more of these job tips for air signs and water signs. Okay, water's next. Okay, well, thanks very much, and I shall see you again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.